Who's ready to play? Simon Says Extreme! Simon Says everybody hop to your feet because Simon Says this game is starting right now. You know the rules. You have to do whatever Simon says to stay in the game. Simon says if you don't do what Simon says or you do something Simon doesn't say, then please take a seat. Simon Says nod your head if you agree. Simon Says give me a thumbs up if you're ready to play. All right, everybody, put your hands down so we can get started. Uh-oh. We'll give everybody a pass on that one because Simon didn't say you could put your hands down. From now on, though, if you don't pay attention to what Simon says, you can keep playing, but please take a seat. Okay, Simon Says put your hands down. Simon Says raise your hands. Simon Says wave your hands. Simon Says put your hands down. Simon Says put your hands up. Put your hands down. Uh-oh. Looks like we lost a few people there. If you put your hands down, you're out. Please take a seat. Okay, Simon Says put your hands down. Now wave goodbye to everyone who sat down. Oops. If you're waving goodbye, Simon Says you better take a seat too. Simon Says everyone clap your hands. Simon Says stop clapping your hands. Simon Says jump up and down. Simon Says stop. Simon Says clap your hands. Stop! Okay, if you're not clapping, you are out. Simon Says stop clapping. Simon Says we're gonna go really fast now. Simon Says raise both hands. Simon Says put both hands down. Simon Says raise one hand. Ooh, did you do what was on the screen and not what Simon says? If you put two hands up, you're out. Simon Says put your hands down. Simon Says hop on one foot. Now stop! Oops! If you're not still hopping, please take a seat. Simon Says stop hopping. Simon Says clap once. Simon Says clap twice. Simon Says raise both hands. Simon Says put both hands down. Simon Says raise both hands. Ooh, that was tricky. If you put only one hand up, please take a seat. Okay, final round. Simon Says raise one hand. Simon Says raise the other hand. Simon Says wave both hands. Simon Says put your hands down. Simon Says put your hands up. Simon Says clap your hands. Simon Says stop clapping. Simon Says put your hands down. Hands up. Ooh, if you put your hands up, you're out. Simon Says if your hands aren't up, you can take a bow. Congratulations if you stayed standing for the entire game. Simon Says, give yourself a round of applause.
Oh, 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 whoa, oh, oh, Jesus is the Lord of all. All hail the power of Jesus' name. Let angels prostrate fall. Bring forth a royal diadem and crown him Lord of all. Bring forth a royal
King Saul gathered an army and took some of the men into the hill country. The rest of the army went with Saul's son Jonathan to the city of Gibeah. Israel's enemies, the Philistines, were in the land. The Philistines came out to fight the Israelites. They had more chariots, more horses, and more soldiers. The Israelites were outnumbered. They were all afraid. Some of them hid. Saul wanted to ask God for help. Maybe if he made an offering to God, they would win the battle. There was one problem. Only the priests, like Samuel, were allowed to give offerings to God. Saul waited, but Samuel did not come. Saul's soldiers started to leave, so Saul decided to make an offering to God himself. Then Samuel showed up. "Saul, what are you doing?" Samuel asked. "You hadn't come, and the men were leaving me. I wanted to ask for God's help before we went into battle against the Philistines," Saul replied. "You have disobeyed God," Samuel said. Saul was king, not a priest. It was a sin for Saul to make the sacrifice. "You will not be king much longer. God is going to find someone obedient to be king." Sometime later, Samuel came to Saul with a message from God. God wanted Saul to attack the Amalekites. God wanted Saul to destroy everything, but after Saul defeated the Amalekites, he only destroyed things that weren't valuable. God told Samuel, "I regret that I made Saul king because he does not obey me." Samuel confronted Saul and told him what God had said. "I did obey him," Saul argued. "I only saved the best animals to sacrifice to the Lord." Samuel asked, "Does God care more about obedience or sacrifices? You rejected his instruction, so God has rejected you as king." Saul admitted his sin and pleaded for forgiveness. Samuel said, "God has taken away your kingship today, and he is giving it to another king." God gave the Israelites a king, but Saul did not obey God. God had a plan to send his son, Jesus. King Jesus trusted and obeyed God perfectly and died so sinners could be forgiven and accepted.